That's it. Whoop. Come on, get down. There you go. There you go. What does this look like? It looks like an engine. For this bad boy. So as you guys see in the intro, we got an engine for the S60R. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you all about it. So, this engine I found locally here. A guy was selling it. He says it's all good engine. They tested it. Pretty much they've been swapping engines. The guy had a cracked sleeve in between the cylinder 4 and 5. Or 3 and 4, one of them. I forgot already. I have to check the messages and stuff. And then they swapped an engine. They got actually turbo. Turbo ended up being bad and smoking, so they thought it was an engine. Then they took this engine out, put another one in, and then they were left with this one. So now he sold this engine to recoup some money for it. And he says, you know, it's for sure good. We went to his shop, you know, we know where the shop is. So I told him we're gonna take it apart and sleeve it. I mean, shim it before we, you know, work on it or put it in. So we're gonna check, make sure the block is not cracked or anything like that. He's like, yeah, no problem. Take it apart. This is a healthy engine. So once we take it apart, we're gonna check that to make sure. I trust him. You know, there's no reason for me not to trust him. And then so we're gonna put this engine in there. We're gonna shim it first. I'm gonna obviously change the head gasket too, because I'm gonna take the head off. So I'm gonna get the good one, the metal 5-layer one or whatever. He said they did water pump timing belt on it. Right here they did the sprockets, brand new sprockets. I don't know what the reason for that is, but he said he did them. He did a water pump tensioners. They look brand new. Water pump brand new, and timing belt is brand new. So once we tear it apart, we're gonna change the head gasket in it, put the shims in it, and then we're gonna put it in the car. Everything looks clean, so we're gonna unload it right now, and then yeah, we're gonna get working on it soon, and then hopefully in the next week or so we're gonna shim it, get all that done, and then we can start putting it in, you know. Hopefully this month we can get it in there, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let me get this really quick. So we got this engine here locally. We paid $700 for this. He wanted a little more. We negotiated because I kind of looked the pricing on it, and that's about $700 is about what they cost on eBay and all that. There's some oil leaked out, or there's some oil in it, so we flipped it, or whatever. It's okay, we'll clean it up. We'll do all the seals and everything, all the gaskets before we put it in. Like I said, we'll take it apart, shim this engine, put a new head gasket on it and everything, even though I don't need one. But when I take it apart, you might as well replace it, because you don't really want to reuse gaskets. So we'll take it apart. He gave us intake manifold, the throttle body, the exhaust manifold. He gave us a few all the coils and the upper covers. It looks like the guy, whoever swapped it, he ran the black covers on them. But yeah, that's the engine we got. So we're gonna be swapping, you know, I'll probably do all this, you know, do the shimming, gaskets and everything that needs to be replaced, that I'm replacing. So taking the head off, head gasket, shimming and all that, put it back together, and then I will pull the engine from the other car. I mean from the car itself, not from the other car. What am I talking about? But yeah, for now we're just gonna cover it up, and when I get to it, probably this week or next week, I'll get to it. We'll do all that on it, and then we'll get ready. We'll get the engine hoist, and then jack and all that. We'll work with that. I just didn't want to pull this one apart and have it parked, and then, you know, like pull it apart and find out the block is cracked, and then end up looking for an engine for a long time, and then leave this thing rusting. Right now it runs, everything good, you know, it doesn't really consume anything, but it failed the test. So I'm sure there's a head gasket or a cracked block. It drives good, so I started up once in a while, take it for a drive, so just to, you know, make sure it doesn't rust out and seal and all that. So I didn't want this leave this sitting, you know, taken apart for a long time. I wanted to get an engine just in case. If I pull this apart and the block is fine and just a head gasket, I'll just swap out the head gasket and leave this thing as is, and then shim that block, and then I mean that engine, and then just sell that engine. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a buyer for that engine, so I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, that's the story on this car for now. And a few more things on this car. If anybody has 4C shocks that are barely used, or if you got a wrecked car, or you work at a junkyard and you notice that there's some newer shocks on one of these things, the 4C shocks, and if you're trying to hook me up, message me on Instagram or comment in the comments below and I'll reply to you. And then or just go to my Instagram, message me there. That's probably going to be the best idea. And then if you live somewhere in the United States and you see one, the 4C shocks, just at least for the front, the back is still alright, but you know, if you have all four, it would be awesome if you can hook me up, because they're really expensive to buy new. But if not, I'll try to either do regular shocks on it and then do the resistors to trick the system, or I may just end up getting new 4C shocks, which are expensive. I don't really want to do so. Yeah, let me know. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for a ride in this car because I haven't ridden it in almost a week already again. So I just try to kind of take it for a spin once in a while just to keep this car running. Temperatures are good, no issues, you know, overheating or anything like that. So this car is running perfect. It's just like I said, it failed the block test, so that's what made me get the other engine for it. So I'm just gonna go for a ride in it right now, and yeah, just kind of wrap up the video really. So yeah, I got the other engine for it, so I can just build it, you know, shim and do all that stuff for it, for this car. And then after I do the shimming and stuff, you know, get it all together, then I'll pull this one out and I'll just swap it, and then I'll tear into this one and find out what the problem was. Or, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of still debating between whether I should just pull the head while in the car, this head on this engine, and just see if it's possibly a gasket. Maybe the block is perfect, but you know, if it is perfect, I mean, I can just put it together and just keep that engine and shim it, you know. So I'm just kind of debating what should I do. I may just pull the head in this one first, just, you know, out of curiosity, you know, how it will look. But I don't know yet, you know, I'm just trying to make up my mind. So this kind of gives me something to do, you know. I kind of needed an engine, you know. I was debating because, I mean, I have a lot of stuff. I'm remodeling right now to my house and everything. So I have a lot of stuff that I could spend money on, but I have this car sitting around. So I was like, you know, why did I waste the time and money to buy this car and then now just let it sit there and rot, you know? So I was like, I found one of my friends sent me a link to the engine for sale. Now, you know, I contacted the guy, you know, I asked him about it, and then yeah, I just went and picked it up. So now I'll have something to do, so I'll just shim that engine probably by the end of this week, probably next weekend or something. I'll take it apart, shim it and all that, get the shims, find out, you know, I'll watch some videos, check out some forums and how to do it properly, and then yeah, and then we'll tear into this one. But until then, I mean, this one is running perfectly, and I mean, it runs perfect. I mean, there's no issues. It boosts really good, it pulls, like, there's no issues with this car besides the block test. So I don't really know if it's the head gasket or the block, but you know, it's a good thing to have an engine as a spare, because I mean, I won't have any problem selling that engine. I mean, if any of you guys know, probably a lot of people are looking for them, so especially if it's a good engine. I'm gonna shim it, and yeah, if this does end up being just a head gasket, I'll replace this one, and then yeah, and then I'll probably take this car, just have it as my work car, just modify it, maybe put a stage 2 or something like that, you know, in this car. Have some fun with it, you know. Just I need the shocks for it, and then I'm gonna have to send out the brake module to get repaired, because the lights are on, because the module inside, I think, I don't know what the deal is, but it gets rotten or rusty or something like that, and then they kind of internally they have to repair it. I think I watched a video or two how they repair it, but you know, something that I don't really want to tackle, just not at least right now. So I'll just send it out to get it repaired. So yeah, this car is gonna be a good project. I'll have some content, you know, shimming the engine, taking it out, putting new one in and stuff like that. And then I'm waiting for the dyno for the red car, and then we're doing the tuning, the Rika tuning adjustments on the blue car. So we'll have some content on that, and then I found a few of my cars that I owned before. I may try to get a hold of those people and maybe take it for a drive and maybe make a video for you guys, and you know, reuniting with my old car and just test driving it and see, you know, remember the good moments I had with them. I had a Nissan 370Z, I had an Evo 10, so yeah, I may have some of those kind of, you know, because I had a lot of cars. I'm not that old, but I had a lot of cars. I was changing cars like every year almost when I was younger, even though I'm still young, but yeah, you know what I mean. So I may have some of those videos. I think you guys will like it, you know, because I kind of want to test drive those cars again, because some of the cars I really miss that I owned in my life. You know, some of them I don't really even want to see, but some of them I really like, and I kind of wouldn't mind, you know, seeing it again and test driving it. Alright, so we're back. So if any of you guys are watching these videos about this car and you guys have done a lot of these engines, shimming them, I know Sweet Source, I think they have a YouTube channel and they have done them. So I'll check out their YouTube channel, and if you have any tips or, you know, inputs or what, you know, how to go about it or anything like that, or like, you know, with the shocks, if any of you guys, you know, want to hook me up here in the United States, that you want for some, you know, for cheap, because you know the new ones are really expensive, the 4C shocks. So if you guys want to hook me up, message me on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the whole video. I mean, got an engine, gonna shim that engine, take it apart, shim it, put it back together, take this one out, swap it in, or just check this one out first before I pull it out and see if it's actually the cracked block. If it is, we'll just swap it. If it's not, we may just do a head gasket, put it back together, and just, you know, modify this one, and then just shim that engine and maybe sell and put in one of other s60Rs that we have, put it in that one. So we'll see how we'll go about it, but I'll be posting videos about it on this channel, so you guys will have some content. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.